Hi everyone, it's me Trudy. I'm just coming in to do my week 11 update. The time is going by really quickly. It feels like I just did my week 10 update, but it's been a whole week. So anyway, we'll start with some numbers. Last week I weighed in at 299, so I broke the threes, and I was all excited about that. And my biggest fear was that this week that I would gain a pound or two and be back up in the threes again, but thankfully I'm down to 294. So I have lost 5 pounds this week. Pretty happy with that. I have really upped my physical exercise. I am riding an exercise bike probably 3 to 4 times a week. Swimming. Went on my first bike ride with the kids this week, which was really good, around the neighborhood. I don't have a bike, so I stole my husband's bike, and we went on a bit of a bike ride, and that was a lot of fun. I'm glad we did it, so I'll be doing that a lot more often. Except the seat hurts my butt, but we'll figure that out. So that was my sort of non-scale victory for this week, was riding the bike. And playing with the kids, like sitting down on the ground and drawing pictures with sidewalk chalk, was not something that I would have ever considered at 359 pounds, because just getting up off the sidewalk was such a chore. And I was sort of worried this time, but I thought, I'll sit down and I'll do some pictures with them on the sidewalk. And when it was time to stand up, I did. I didn't have to think about it. I just did it, and I thought it would be a whole lot more difficult than that, but it was really great. I'm noticing that I sort of feel deflated, so that my legs are like jigglier than they used to be, and my tummy is, it's smaller, but it's softer, like, I don't know, I guess that's the precursor to the loose skin that I can look forward to eventually. But yeah, I noticed that in the pool today. It wasn't pleasant, but I go underwater, and I have a two-piece bathing suit, but it's full coverage. Like, there's no skin showing in the middle. And when I go to dive under the water, I have to pull my bottoms back up because I need a new bathing suit. So, oh well, that'll get me through the next couple weeks, and then next year I'll buy another one. And my rings, I can flick my rings around, which I am constantly having to turn them, because this ring I've had since I was 13, I want to say. It was grade 8. So I've had this ring on my finger for 25 years, easy. So it didn't come off before, but now I can't keep it on. Like, it just does not want to stay on. But it's too small for another finger. So I'm going to have to do something with this. And my engagement ring, it just turns. Like, I was spinning it around the other night, just, So that's exciting. Like, my fingers used to look like sausage rolls, because, it was like a muffin top, because, yeah. So, I like that. It feels a little more feminine like that, But food is fine. I tried a piece of bacon this morning, and when I say piece of bacon, I mean it was like that big. I tried this little tiny piece of bacon, and it made me nauseous. So I was pretty disappointed with myself, actually, for trying it. I wasn't disappointed it made me nauseous. I was just disappointed that I actually put that in my mouth. Because I've been doing really well. I haven't been giving in to the food. Last week we took the kids to Pizza Hut for lunch, and I ordered my lunch. It was a spinach salad with chicken breast on it, and mushrooms and bacon and stuff. Anyway, I gave the bacon to my husband, and I had the salad, and I didn't like the chicken in it. It was gross. So instead of picking away at it and paying for the entire thing, I just sent it back that I didn't like it because it was nasty. And yeah, so that's a little trick, maybe sort of accidentally learned, that if you order your meal and you eat, 4 or 5 spoonfuls of it, you've had enough, send it back like you didn't like it, so you don't have to pay for it. So yeah, that worked. And but yeah, every morning I start out with a milkshake. for lunch I have a bit of a sandwich, and for dinner tonight I had a salad with mixed greens, shrimp, so I put some shrimp on it, cucumber, tomato, and a handful, not a handful, but like 10 maybe almonds, and a little bit of balsamic vinaigrette, and that was good for me. Everyone else had spaghetti and meatballs, so I couldn't be bothered. And I just finished a sugar-free fudgesicle. Love those. Very happy that I found those. So yeah, we're spending as much time outside as we possibly can with the kids and in the pool and stuff. In the daytime, it's beautiful in the daytime. But at nighttime the temperatures have started to fall at night. So this is sort of, I hate to say it, but fall is coming, which, you know, is fine with me. I love fall. And I noticed that it's coming. We live very close to a lake. So when fall is coming, the geese start flying south, and they fly very low over my house. To the point it almost feels like you could reach up and touch them. They're flying so low. They land on the rooftops around here. So the past few days the geese have started flying over very low. So the geese are starting to get ready to fly south for the winter. And sort of sad. Summer's almost gone, but the kids start school in a couple of weeks, I guess, and I'm excited about that. So I start school in a couple weeks too. For those who don't know, I'm a full-time college student. I'm going to school to get my degree in human resources, and this is my last year. I started at the very beginning of 2009, and I took a couple of semesters off. Like, I took this summer off so I could have this surgery and just focus on that. And so I'm heading back in September, and so I'm excited about that. And we went out today and bought a puppy, which is super exciting. And we don't bring her home. She was just born on Saturday, so we don't get to bring her home until Thanksgiving. But I think that's sort of perfect to get us in a routine and school and all that kind of fun stuff. And then we'll bring her home the beginning of October. So yeah, that's exciting. So that's about all that's new with me this week. Had a couple of non-scale victories with the bike and all that kind of fun stuff. And you know, I find myself walking around with, I don't want to say like a, I don't know, I don't feel as self-conscious anymore in stores. I don't feel like everyone's staring at me like, check out that fat chick, and I just feel like I'm a normal, overweight person. I don't know. It's amazing the way my brain sort of works. It just, and I mean, I'm sitting in, and this is sort of hard to say. Sitting in chairs, I mean, is always a concern, because arms on chairs and blah blah. But I went to, my grandmother's been in the hospital for what seems like forever, and so we went down to visit her yesterday, and she's got this chair in her room that with these arms on it, and they're somewhat close together. But I mean, whenever I've gone there before, it's, you know, sit down and squeeze the hips in to get in, and it's not very comfortable once you're in because it's pinching your hips the whole time. And I sat down this time, I didn't have to squeeze at all. I stood up without having to hold the chair down for fear of picking the chair up with me with my hips. Sorry, I'm shaking the laptop. Because yeah, I was always worried that if I stood up, the arms of the chair would grab my hips and the chair would come up with me. Which us overweighters know that that's a definite possibility, and it's happened to us on more than one occasion. So you stand up and you hold the arms to make sure that the chair doesn't come up with you stuck to your ass. And it didn't happen. I could stand up without holding onto the arms of the chair. Just little things. Little victories that just make you just smile and make it worth it. Because, sorry, I've got, yeah, so that was my week. 5 pounds down. I'm a happy girl. If there was one thing I could change in this whole process, would be that time of the month. Sorry, any men out there, but all you girls, if you're pre-op, you need to be warned that your period will be hell as soon as you start losing the weight. All those fat cells in your body release estrogen as you're losing weight, and it makes your periods awful. So I went from having virtually nothing at all, because I have an IUD, I've got a Mirena, so I hadn't had a normal cycle in probably 2 years. And now since surgery, I'm 11 weeks out, and I have been on my period for 6 of those weeks. Because every time I have a cycle, it's 12 to 14 days at a time. I just finished my 3rd one, so that was 6 weeks. It's unreal. So be prepared for that, because it's going to happen. And thankfully, I mean, the cramps aren't any worse, but sorry guys, I'm going into way too much detail for you men out there. Anyway, Mr. Derwin, get well soon. We're thinking about you. My time is up. See ya. Bye guys.